A really common question I get from a lot of first-time buyers is, how long is the home buying process going to take from start to finish? So in today's lesson, I'm going to break down some of the different steps that you need to go through during the home buying process and how long you can expect each one of them to take. Hey, it's Robert Weinberg, and on this channel we empower people to take control of their future through expert mortgage and financial strategies. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about how long the different steps take to buy a home and get a mortgage when you're purchasing a home. So the first step is going to be the pre-approval process. Now, if you're ready to buy a home right away, you've got good credit, you've got money available, and everything's on the up and up, pre-approval process could just take 1 to 3 days. It can be very quick. On the other hand, if you need some coaching, if you need some strategy, then the pre-approval process could take several months. So you want to consult with your mortgage advisor as early as possible, as we always talk about, to get that process moving quickly so you can move on to the next, which is shopping for your home. This is where you're going to meet with a real estate agent, a local professional that can send you listings that you might be interested in, talk to you about your wants and needs in a property, and actually go out there and show you homes that you might be interested in. Now, the shopping process can take from a few days to a couple of weeks or even several months. I've had clients that shop for a home for 6 to 12 months before they find one where they get an offer accepted. But once you find a house that you're interested in, that next step is going to be going under negotiation and getting under contract. So this is where your realtor and you are going to go back and forth with the seller and the seller agent to put a negotiation together to get a price that's going to work. Now, negotiations usually are just a few days. But in certain circumstances, if you're dealing with a difficult seller, if you're dealing with a probate scenario, short sale, these other things, the negotiation and contract process can take several weeks. So you want to be prepared for that. Now, once you actually go under contract, meaning you and the seller sign the document, agreeing on a price and the terms of the contract, then that's when your mortgage is going to go to processing. This is when things really start moving on the mortgage side. So once we get that signed contract, we're going to order an appraisal. We're going to submit your loan to underwriting, do a title search. Once we get that initial approval from underwriting, there's going to be some conditions that you're going to need to clear with your mortgage advisor or loan processor. That's going to be things like maybe an updated bank statement, proof of certain deposits or where money came from that's in your bank account. Information on your employment or questions or concerns on your employment. Anything to do with any of these items, credit, income, assets, and whatnot, the underwriter is going to come back and ask questions about, and we're going to work with you to get those conditions cleared. So the mortgage processing can be several weeks. I would say expect at least 2 to 3 weeks on average for the processing of your loan application. Then once all that's done, you're going to be cleared to close, and we're going to move forward with the closing process. You're going to set a time with your attorney or whoever's handling your closing to meet with them, to do the final paperwork and get the keys to your home. So the total time start to finish typically is going to be 30 to 45 days. I would say that probably 80% of contracts that I receive, that total time from when you sign the contract until you're going to do the closing is going to be a 30 to 45 day window there. That's going to be the most common. Now, if you're in a rush scenario and they're really looking to close quickly, I've seen it as little as 15 to 20 days. That's definitely the exception, not the rule. And on the other side of it, it could be 60 days. If you're dealing with a scenario like a short sale or a foreclosure, that sort of thing, where there's a lot of other parties involved, it can take a lot longer. But as I said earlier, 30 to 45 days is the average. That's what I would be prepared for. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is seasonality. So real estate is cyclical and seasonal. So if you're at a time of year like the summer or the spring when things are really, really hot and there's a lot of people buying homes, you need to realize that mortgage lenders are bogged down. All the people in the process are bogged down with a lot more transactions. So it can take a bit longer during these times. You'll probably want to add maybe a week to 10 days just for volume because there's so much going on, like I said, with the seasonality and whatnot, if there's a lot of transactions taking place. But every lender is different. Right now, I've heard of some big box lenders that are taking 60 to 90 days to do a home purchase, whereas a small local lender or mortgage broker, they might be more on the 30 to 45 day end. So talk to your lender up front, talk to your advisor, get an idea of what these timeframes are going to be. You should really be having your realtor communicate with them when it comes time to negotiate and get under contract, because that contract period is really important. There's going to be a date on the contract that certain timelines need to be met. And if your realtor is disconnected with your lender and they haven't communicated, then there may be timelines in that contract that can't be met. So set the expectation up front. Have your lender and your realtor be connected, have them be communicating, and let them set those expectations of these different steps in the process and what you can expect. So I hope that gives you some good insight, and I appreciate you watching. If it's your first time here, please go ahead and click the bell and hit the subscribe button so you get notified on all of our future content. As always, you can follow me on all my social media content and all my different channels, and if I can be of assistance to you or anyone you know, please reach out to me via call, text, or private message. We'll talk to you.